You're lying in bed. The room is quiet, but inside there's this low hum of monitoring, checking. Did that meditation work earlier? Am I calmer now than I was this afternoon? Should I be feeling more peaceful by now? There's something watching, not just thoughts moving through. That's obvious, but something else. This quiet surveillance system running in the background, measuring your proximity to peace. And here's what goes unnoticed. That measuring, that checking to see if you're getting closer to calm, that's mental activity. That's the mind in motion. The mind seeking peace is the mind agitated. Krishnamurti spent decades pointing to this. The very attempt to free ourselves is what keeps us trapped. He said it plainly. When you fight against a habit, you give life to that habit, and then the fighting itself becomes another habit. You can feel it, maybe. The anxiety and the movement to fix it, they're the same thing. They're one circuit, one movement pretending to be problem and solution. This is happening right now, not as theory, as fact. You wake up and something's already there. This sense that you're not quite right yet, that you need to be calmer, more present, less of whatever you are right now. So you sit down to meditate. You close your eyes. You try to watch your breath, observe your thoughts without getting pulled in. But who's watching? There's someone there monitoring the whole thing, evaluating. Am I doing this right? Is it working? Why am I still anxious? The watcher is watching to fix something, to arrive somewhere, to finally be at peace. You think, when I reach peace, I'll be okay. That thought seems reasonable. But look at what just happened. Peace is now in the future, tomorrow, after you meditate more, when you finally understand. And as long as peace is ahead of you, there's an I that hasn't arrived yet. The movement toward tomorrow is what prevents this moment from being seen. You're scrolling through your phone late at night. You know you should put it down, should sleep, should be more present. There's that familiar tightness starting in your chest, comparison, restlessness, the sense that everyone else has figured out how to be calm except you. And immediately, there's a second movement. I shouldn't feel this way. I need to stop this. So, you try your techniques, deep breathing, naming the emotion, observing it without judgment. But all of that, every single movement you make to fix the anxiety, is more thought, more effort, more of the same agitation wearing a spiritual mask. What feels like progress here may still be seeking. Krishnamurti asks a simple question. Why are we seeking? If you look, really look, without trying to find a comfortable answer, you'll see something. We seek because we're empty. There's this aching insufficiency we can't face directly. So we fill it with practices, with goals, with the promise that one day, if we just keep going, we'll arrive at peace. The filling is what keeps the emptiness alive. You're in a conversation, someone's talking and you're trying to stay present, trying to really listen, but there's a part of you monitoring. Am I present enough? Am I being mindful? The effort to be here pulls you out of here. The trying to listen becomes noise that prevents listening. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because if seeking peace creates agitation. What do? Do you stop seeking? But stopping is still doing something, still trying to get somewhere, even if that somewhere is called not seeking. You feel anxiety rising, that tightness in your throat, that restlessness in your legs. Immediately, so fast you barely notice, there's resistance. No, not this again. And you reach for something to control it. A breathing technique, a mantra, the observer position. But who's controlling? Another thought, another movement of the same mind that created the anxiety. The controller saying, I must not be anxious, is himself made of anxiety. The one trying to fix it and the thing needing to be fixed, they're the same movement. The observer trying to fix the anxiety is the anxiety observing itself. You're not watching anxiety from some calm center. There is no calm center watching. There's only anxiety pretending to be divided into sufferer and witness, into problem and solver. Krishnamurti saw this with brutal clarity. There's no seeker separate from the seeking. When you say, I want peace, who's speaking? It feels like you. Solid. Real. But look right now. Don't wait. Don't think about it later. Just look. Where is this I that wants peace? Can you find it? Or is there only the thought I arising along with the thought want peace, thought seeking another thought, movement creating more movement? And you've been calling this entire circuit me. Between one thought and the next, there's silence. Not silence you create by trying to be quiet. Just silence. The gap that's always there when thought ceases for a moment, but seeking fills those gaps. The mind, searching for peace, doesn't let the silence be. It fills every space with am I there yet? With keep going. With almost, not quite. Try harder. The silence is here. Or maybe it's always been here. But the seeker, being made of noise, can't hear it. You are sitting in your car before going into work. Engine off. Keys in your hand. The seat is still cold. And for a second, maybe less, there's nothing. No thought about the meeting ahead. No monitoring of whether you're present. Just the sound of the engine ticking as it cools. Just this. And then immediately, oh, I should do this more often. This is peaceful. How do I keep this? And the seeking is back. The moment you try to keep the peace, you've created the distance between you and peace. The thought, I, arises and claims what was never personal, says, I found peace about something that existed only when there was no I to find it. Here's what Krishnamurti kept pointing to. The watcher, the observer, the one who's trying to be peaceful, that's the final form of the ego. The ego doesn't fight awakening. It becomes the awakened one. It doesn't resist peace. It becomes the one seeking peace. And as long as there's someone seeking, there's separation. As long as there's separation, there's suffering. Can you see the circle? The thought I, trying to find peace. The thought trying to observe thought. The mind trying to quiet the mind. The seeker seeking an end to seeking. And in seeing that circle, not thinking about it, but actually seeing it right now as it's happening, something stops. The movement that created the seeker is seen through. Krishnamurti said it clearly. It is only when the mind is not giving continuity to thought, when it is still, In a state of stillness that is not induced, that has no motive, only then can there be freedom. Stillness not induced, which means all your attempts to become still are what prevent stillness. So we return to the beginning. You're seeking peace, always seeking, and the seeking is the continuation of what you're trying to escape. The seeker, this sense of I that wants to be at peace, is made of thought, and thought is movement, and movement doesn't rest by trying to rest. The question isn't, how do I reach peace? The question dissolves the questioner. Who is asking? And when you look for who's asking and find only another thought arising, calling itself you, when you see there's no solid entity there, just movement pretending to be someone, the whole structure becomes transparent. What if peace was never ahead of you? What if the only thing between you and peace is the movement of seeking itself? What if you, the seeker, are the only distance? We don't offer methods here. We only point to what prevents seeing. These reflections aren't meant to give you something new to practice. They're meant to show you what you're already doing, so clearly that the doing stops on its own. If this touches something, stay, not to learn, but to see. We walk these paths together, not to arrive somewhere, but to discover we were never lost. We walk these paths together, not to arrive somewhere, not even to walk. Be still.